Okay, yeah, it's already halfway through 2025, but I still want to take my art goals seriously, so here are all the things I want to improve or finish before the year ends. Okay, so one of my biggest goals is anatomy. I know the basics, but I want to go beyond that and actually make the kind of stylized anatomy I love seeing in other artists' work. Not just watching a video here or there on YouTube, but like proper studies. To do that, I'm studying from the Taco Anatomy books. If you're on Pinterest or Twitter, you've probably seen them. He breaks things down into stylized body parts in a really digestible way. He has 2 books dedicated to teaching you everything about anatomy in a more stylized fashion. Personally, I still don't have a huge interest or drive to study very realistic anatomy, which is why I'm using a more stylized resource. The book is divided into 2 books and 2 parts in each book. I'm on book 1 and have finished section 1, which was about the body, mainly the upper body. Now I'm on the second section, which is about arms and hands. It's rather interesting since you can really see what I have the most experience drawing from the studies. My upper bodies are okay and arms are kind of okay, but legs are always more rough than anything else, which makes sense as I've done like no leg studies basically. And most of the drawings I make are upper bodies, so I really don't have that much experience drawing legs. But yeah, I'm making progress towards this already, and hopefully by the end of the year my anatomy will have improved greatly. I also want to improve my understanding of composition and perspective. I kind of get things like the rule of thirds from filmmaking, but I've never actually studied it for art. I bought a composition book and started doing colossal courses, which are super helpful, and I'll get more into them later. In Rhino Tuna's course, the way he breaks bodies into shapes for perspective just clicked for me for some reason, and I finally feel like I'm able to understand how to draw things in space. Not like amazingly yet, but like I finally found a system that I think works really well and I'm building off of. I do also want to take time to learn proper perspective, 1 point, 2 point, 3 point, fisheye, etc. I think another goal of mine that aligns with these is my desire to want to get better at backgrounds. I have done some backgrounds, but they're usually pretty basic, and I think part of that is just my limited visual library for designing backgrounds, as well as my knowledge of perspective and stuff, so I also want to make an effort to work on implementing backgrounds into my pieces more. Color theory is something I barely understand. Like, I knew complementary colors, but not how to use them in things like shading. Thanks to the Obo the Artist and Ryan Tuna's courses, I'm finally understanding things like adding warmth to shadows, the terminator line between the light and the shadow, and how to get the style of lighting that I've been wanting to replicate. In the Obo the Artist course I did, the way they rendered their characters was super useful. I learned a lot about how they managed to make shading look more lively, and also about the terminator, which is the brightest red-orange line between the skin tone. I'm also doing the color theory section in Ryan Tuna's course at the moment, and he's showing examples with different types of lighting, so it's been pretty useful. Now I'm excited to try implementing it into my digital art pieces since I've just been doing a lot of traditional sketches lately. I always see artists add like color to the shadows, and I never really understood how they knew what color to use in the shadows and stuff like that, but now I feel like I'm finally starting to understand, so I'm hoping my rendering ability will get a lot better by the end of the year as well. Okay, so that's all my goals for my technical skill, so now let's get on to some other goals. One of which being all of my Colossal courses I have. I've already mentioned it a few times, but for those that don't know, Colossal is an online platform kind of like Skillshare, but primarily for art, and you buy the courses instead of having to deal with the subscription, which I really like. There are a ton of courses, and they're always adding more, so I'm sure there's something you'd find interesting, but for me, I have 4, kind of 6 courses I have bought. I have the character design course by Rhino Tuna, who's a really good Korean character designer, and even though I'm not done with it yet, I've already learned so much, so I definitely recommend it. Besides that, I have the Ovo the Artist course, which I got on a special deal for $10, so I get access to it for 90 days. I've already completed it, and yeah, it was fine. I definitely got the most out of the rendering part of the series, personally, but I think this course, how much you're going to get out of it, is really going to vary depending on your skill level. If you're already like intermediate to advanced, you probably won't get as much out of it. If you're pretty new and you're looking for just a very broad introduction to anatomy and character design as a whole, then I think it would work well. I also have a course about designing male characters, specifically by posca, which I did a tad bit of and had liked, but I am now focusing on one course at a time, so I don't have a strong opinion on the course yet, since I haven't really gotten that far in it. And besides that, the last course I have currently is a course by Jufut. It's about character design, but specifically for video games. I got it through early bird access, so it's not out yet. It's supposed to come out in September, but I am pretty excited to take that course since it's very specifically for video games, which is what I do in my day job. I'm currently working through Rhino Tuna's course, and then I think I'll do Muxel next, maybe. It kind of depends how quickly I can get through Rhino Tuna's course. If I get through it before Jufut's course come out, otherwise I might do Jufut's first. I'm honestly not quite sure. Something I liked about Muxel's course is I took a look, and a lot of the videos are very short in length. They're not super long, so they're a lot more digestible to just kind of like do at random points throughout the day, compared to most courses I've taken where a lot of lessons are like 40 minutes, an hour, 2 hours long. So if you really want to like it's like each lesson takes a lot more time to get through. But anyways, besides that, timeline-wise, I think I might be able to finish all these courses before Black Friday, since there is 1 and 2 courses I definitely have my eye on that I really want to get. I didn't get it on their last sale period, just because I have so many courses that are still left to do. I wanted to finish my current courses. But then, during Black Friday, where they will most likely have some of their best deals of the year, I already have 1 or 2 courses that I definitely plan on getting, so I'm kind of hoping to finish the other courses before then, and then, by the end of the year, hopefully, be able to finish 1 out of maybe 2 courses I might buy. I think it's possible at the current rate that I'm going. I take notes on all of it too, so if you're interested in how I take art notes, let me know. I can make a video about it. Now, another mini goal of mine is to fill up my current sketchbook. 2 sketchbooks would be awesome, but 1's the minimum, and making YouTube videos has actually helped out a lot with that, so I definitely think it's possible. Not sure if I'll be able to fill out 2 sketchbooks since it's kind of a lot, but I'm pretty confident I'll be able to fill out the current sketchbook that I'm working on. Okay, and finally, last but not least, I would like to be able to release or get close to releasing Volume 1 of my webcomic Broken Worlds. I discussed it already in my video where I talk about the main character Wisp, so I won't go into huge details here, but Volume 1 is paneled and scripted, so I just need to get to the actual drawing of it. I'm currently working on the 3D models right now, but once those are done, it'll be just about actually drawing everything. I plan on making vlogs about the process too, so if that sounds interesting, make sure to subscribe so you don't miss it. The webcomic is a fantasy world where there are 2 worlds, one has humans and one has mages, and they've been split due to a miscommunication in the past, and now the Prince of Atandra from the human world meets this boy named Wisp from the magical world, and together they get up into shenanigans. I have a lot of other stuff going on, so I'm not sure how feasible my goal is, but we'll see. I have my fingers crossed. It's definitely something I really want to try to accomplish. Anyways, those are my 2025 goals, and honestly, I'm already making some pretty solid progress. I'd love to know what your art goals are for the rest of the year too, so drop them in the comments. And if you're curious about the taco book or colossal courses, I'll be doing review videos on those later this year, so make sure to subscribe so you don't miss it. And yeah, alright, bye bye.